I know there are mixed opinions on Vols athletic director Danny White, but I'm going to convince you today that what Danny White pulled off yesterday is going to be something very, very special for the Tennessee Volunteers. Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Joey Petersen. You are watching Tennessee Football Talk. And did you know that this channel is the fastest growing Vols football channel on YouTube? We've added over 2,600 subscribers in 2 weeks. And guess what? I can promise you, we're not slowing down anytime soon. Currently sitting at 2,683 subscribers. Let's get that to 3,000 today. To do that, I need your help. Okay, hit that subscribe button for free daily coverage of your Tennessee Volunteers. Yesterday, I believe, is one of those days that in 10 years, hopefully 2 national championships from now, Vol fans are going to look back and say, that might have been the catalyst of it all. It was a really, really special day for the Volunteers. Now, why is that, you ask? Well, if you live under a rock and you didn't know, Tennessee signed a 10-year deal with Adidas. They will officially be leaving Nike after the 2025-2026 athletic year. July 1st, 2026 is when this new journey with Adidas starts, and Danny White kicked it off with a really, really strong way, saying the following. There is no denying the resurgence of Tennessee athletics powered by the greatest fan base in all of sports. Amen. Adidas recognized our potential and responded with one of the best apparel deals in the history of college sports, prioritizing Vol Nation and the Tennessee brand. The partnership provides us with a significant advantage in the ever-evolving landscape of college sports. We take pride in our fan base and the competitive edge they offer us. We refuse to partner with someone who does not feel the same way. And I get the initial frustration with this, right? I'm not going to lie to you. Yesterday, when the announcement came and I saw the tweets about it, I was kind of like, I don't love Adidas. Nike seems like it's king, right? I like Nike uniforms better. I'm wearing a Nike shirt right now. But today, if you felt that same way, kind of about it, maybe on the more frustrated side, I'm going to show you just why this is going to be an elite tool for Tennessee to use over the next 5 to 10 years to truly climb back to the top as a top power in this sport, okay? Be honest with me. What's your excitement level about the move to Adidas? Scale it for me 1 to 10 in the comment section. If you're super duper excited, that's a 10. If you're not excited at all, that's a 1. Let me know where you sit down below. So we're going to start off with 20 million reasons why you should be excited about this deal. Of course, I'm talking about the money, okay? The deal with Adidas is $20 million a year compared to what Nike was paying us at $5.5 million. So the Vols just up their per year deals with their shoe brands, with their apparel providers by $14.5 million every single year. And when you look at the scope of the SEC, that puts us right on the top, where I think we all believe this university belongs. $20 million, number 1 in the SEC. Texas is at 16, A&M's at 9. They're also Adidas. And then you got Auburn, Kentucky, South Carolina, LSU, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Mizzou rounding out the other top 10. And we saw the talent gap in the playoffs, okay? If you were there in Columbus, you saw it in person. 42-17 was the final score of that game, right? That talent gap, because of that new money from Adidas, I think is going to get smaller and smaller every single year. Until at some point, I think down the road, it's going to start going the other way, okay? And I'm going to explain why in just a second. Before that, though, make sure you got me followed on X. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8. I put the link to my Twitter in the comments and description of today's video. You guys did awesome. I asked for you to follow me yesterday, got 29 followers. I need 21 more, okay, until I get to 1,000 followers. That's my goal. So if you want daily updates before you even get them here on YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter at Joey Petersen 8. The biggest thing about this is it's going to turn into a recruiting tool. It's going to turn Tennessee, in my opinion, to a recruiting powerhouse. Chris McGuire, the VP of sports marketing for Adidas, says, "We have an affiliate program where all student athletes can participate and essentially become an NIL athlete for Adidas. We are going to continue to roll out other programming around NIL to make sure we are doing our part to help attract some of the top recruits across all sports for the university." So basically, I'm going to try to dumb this down for everybody because I needed it dumbed down for me. This is a nice loophole, nice little workaround around the new NIL cap. If you missed it over the summer, the new House settlement agreed, and I think this is a good thing, that each school will get $20.5 million to spend on athletes. So you can't just say, okay, I'm going to go pay this player for $8 million, this player for $8 million, this one for $4 million, this one for $6 million, because you have to spread that $20.5 million across all your sports. But now, Tennessee, Danny White, can pick up the phone, they can call Adidas and say, hey, look, there's this 5-star who's in Nashville, who we really, really want. We've already spent X amount of dollars of our NIL cap. Can you sign this person to a 4-year, $8 million deal, making them an Adidas athlete? That's the workaround. That's the end. And now with Tennessee, as Adidas' number one flagship program, they're going to be happy to do that. Also, and I may go in more detail later in this week about this, Tristan Keys just so happens to be one of those Adidas athletes. The 5-star wide receiver, currently committed to LSU. He's been rumored to flip at some point to the Vols over the next couple of months. This just made that a whole lot easier. And this, I think, is one of my favorite things about this new deal, is we are their number one priority. Tennessee is their number one school. Nike, they weren't willing to put us up with Ohio State, with Oregon, with Texas, with any of their top Nike schools. They didn't even counter the offer that Adidas gave us. They said, you know what? We're paying you $5.5 million. We think that's what you're worth. That's not what we're going to go over, okay? We're going to keep it at 5.5. Adidas saw all the ratings. They see the fan base. They see me and you, and they say, you know what? This school has potential and maybe already is one of the top programs in the country. Let's put our logo on them. Let's make them our number one priority. Anything Tennessee needs over the next 10 years of this contract, I can promise you, Adidas will provide as quickly as they can. Because other than us, it's what? A&M, who they're paying half the amount of money that they're paying us. Arizona State, producer Jack reminds me behind the camera. And it's like Mississippi State as well. Probably some others, but none of those schools, no offense, Jack, have the same prowess that Tennessee has. Which would you rather? Now that we're 8 minutes into this, have I convinced you enough? Give me your vote in the comment section down below. If you'd rather them still be Nike, type it in. If you'd rather them be Adidas, go ahead and give me an A. And also really cool, part of this as well, is Tennessee still has creative control. I don't love Adidas' uniforms. Okay, they're a little bit too tight for me. I think some of their concepts don't look really good. I don't really like their basketball stuff. What they did last year with one of A&M's basketball uniforms, I think was maybe the worst uniform in the history of college athletics. But the cool thing about this is that how the uniforms look is still controlled by the university itself. Danny White said, we have creative control, but they have talented creative people. We have talented creative people. I think that anytime you're a priority for someone, I think that there's more opportunity for ideation and thinking about how do we continue to have our foot on the pedal in terms of innovation. So I love the fact that it's still in Tennessee's hands. You're not going to see anything too off the cuff. You're not going to see anything crazy. You're going to see the classics like they've been playing for the last, century or so. They're just going to look a little bit different. They're going to have the stripes on it. Probably because it's Adidas, they're going to be a little bit tighter. But still, you're not going to see anything outlandish because at the end of the day, we know the tradition of this program. Tennessee knows the tradition of the program, and they have the creative control moving forward for how these things look. I hope I did my job. I hope I got you fired up about this Adidas deal. I think it's going to be a wonderful thing for Tennessee, okay? I know you might not like Adidas as much as Nike, but I don't think you could argue that Nike would have been better to stay with. Make sure you got me on social media. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Joey Petersen on both of those platforms. The links to those are in the comments section. More than anything, though, make sure you subscribe for daily updates on your Tennessee Vols.